So, okay, so these two teams ended up being up in the same kind of groupings in the finals, like for playoffs and everything. Like they were at the top, we were at the bottom. We finished second last. Spoiler: this team finished second last in the league. So we'll see how playoffs go in the future. But this is a game against a team that's like, they used to be really, really good, and they maybe slowed down a little bit. They're still pretty solid, and I've had some crazy games against them a few years ago where I got a ton of shots. My team has done a very good job of being like, they skate all the time. They skate, and skate people down. And we give up not a lot of chances, but the chances we give up are ridiculously high quality chances where it's tough to stop, and we'll see kind of how this goes in there. And the interesting thing here is I'm using this glove, which is a ReasonY. I can't remember what it's called exactly, but it's a ReasonY ball hockey glove. It's made for high level ball hockey, and I'm using it on ice hockey. So you might think I'm crazy, but this is the same materials like plastics and stuff that is in the ice hockey version that I have, which is made by Miklin. And the palm and everything in here is solid. It's very protective. It's great. They tested this against a puck machine. I will be using this against a puck machine in the future to show you how great this is. But they sent this to me, and I'm going to go crazy and show how it is. So I decided to use this on ice and to see how it worked, and I'll talk about it at the end of this video. So if you're buying hockey equipment and you want to support the channel, check out the links in the description. In the US, check out the links to Pure Hockey. In Canada, check out the links to Hockey Supremacy. If you click those links and make a purchase, I get a kickback from the sale. So anything that comes back from that comes right back into the channel, so I can make more content and doing like real reviews and stuff. I got buy gear to do a lot of the tests for it, so that costs money, and it would be greatly appreciated. Otherwise, if you want to support the channel without buying anything, check out links in the description to Patreon, buy me a coffee. Everything through there comes again back into the channel, so I can make more content and doing real reviews. Y'all ready for this? All right, so game stuff first. I mentioned this over and over again, and my team was very self-aware about this as well. They outskate any team in the league. They outskate everyone. They grind everyone. They chase people down. They kind of hook and hack and slash a bit too much as well, but that's kind of what they are. But their talent isn't really, really high. They have a few guys that can really score, and then it kind of drops off, so they have to kind of get those grinding goals and stuff like that. And because of the way they play, they don't give up a lot of shots because they generally have the puck more often or chasing people down more often. When they do give up shots, they're usually very high danger, very difficult to stop, and my stats for this team would be absolutely horrendous. And this is a very good game to show evidence of this. It's not a long video for the actual gameplay itself because there's not a lot of shots, and yet I let in 4 goals with an empty net. But you watch these and like gets to the point where it's really like, what am I supposed to do when on these plays? The first goal is a guy who is good enough that I have to play him all the time. And he pulls it to his backhand. I go down just in case. I thought he was going to the guy at the top of the crease. He goes back further. Guy's a wide open net. I'm already down biting in case the guy goes backhand. Easy goal. And then they score again with a guy wide open, backdoor. And I wish I pushed off harder because it would have been a great clip to see me catching with this glove. But goes backdoor. I slide across, just can't get it. There's absolutely nobody covering him at all. I think we're shorthanded at this point, but it's just like the whole coverage is real bad. And that's like a common occurrence, but it is what it is, right? And then the third goal is that guy who makes the nice pass on the first one, gets a breakaway and totally dekes me out. And again, he has hands. He's a good hockey player. He deked me out and made me look really bad. Fourth goal is a guy who, again, is wide open in front of the net completely. They took a shot from the point. I drop because I have to play a tip. If he tips this in on me and I don't drop, it's going to look really bad. Chances are I'm like, this guy might tip it. He doesn't tip it. He grabs it, holds onto it. I'm down already for the tip, and he slides it around me. So again, it's kind of like, what was I supposed to do there? And then my team came back and got some goals, but then they scored on the empty net. But there's another play too where we were down by a goal and we gave up basically a 3-on-1 breakaway. And it ended up becoming just a single person breakaway because the one guy just peeled off. But if all those guys skated in, it would have been a 3-on-1 breakaway when we were down by a goal. So that's just kind of what this team does in terms of defense and how they play. They just give up some really bad chances, and that's kind of what happens here and looks bad here. So now on to the cool stuff, which is this glove. And yeah, I'm crazy for using a ball hockey glove, but I talked about how the plastics are what are on the ice hockey version. Foams in the inner piece that comes out is the same as what's on the ice hockey version, and they tested this with a puck machine. I'm going to test it with my puck machine and use it. It's great. I love this glove. The problem with this glove, and specifically on my gear, all these are plastic edges. And so instead of some stitching stuff, it has screws because this is made for ball hockey, right? So it doesn't really matter. Problem with that though is all of this, I felt like it would rip my pads and I didn't want to touch it against my pads. I didn't want to go anywhere near it. So you could see me a few times try to I always kind of do a thing with my glove to make sure my hand is deep in the glove so it doesn't slide out and stuff. So you could see me kind of fiddle with it a little bit. And it's just because I didn't want to touch it on any of the Gen Pro on any of my gear to not rip it. The other thing that was super annoying is when I tried to put my hand on ice, it did one of two things. Either it would just slide. If it was not on the very edges, it would just slide around too much, or it would dig. So I'd go like this and the plastic would dig into the ice and it would I'd be like, oh no, I'm killing my crease and I have to play multiple games this night. So it was kind of interesting using that and kind of going back and forth with it. It was an interesting little experience. I'm not really using this glove again in ice. It was just a one-time thing that I kind of wanted to do. But I did get one of my teammates who is a 6'5" monster who has a absolute cannon to shoot in warm-ups directly at this multiple times, and he's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, just fire the hardest shot you can take, it'll be fine. And felt absolutely nothing, was totally fine. That guy played high-level hockey growing up and is more powerful now than he was then. So this is an interesting glove and it's fun to use. So huge thanks to ReasonY for sending it to me, and we're going to do a full video on the actual ice hockey one in terms of a review coming soon. I talked about that previously, but it'll be coming in the very near future.
You're watching HockeyReviews.ca.